Welcome to Awesemo Fantasy Football. Are you tired of the industry consensus? Are you sick of that groupthink mentality? Then try our data-driven approach from the world's #1 daily fantasy football player, Alex Awesemo Baker. Alex has loaned his projections expertise to creating our first ever set of premium season-long fantasy football rankings. Head over to awesemo.com to find out more about our different approach to fantasy football. Now let's check out how those rankings would approach drafting from the 111. At the 111, the pick was pretty easy here, Davante Adams. You can really envision a scenario in which Davante Adams challenges Michael Thomas as the league's top fantasy wideout. Last year, neither Allen Lazard nor Marquez Valdes-Scantling were able to top even 500 yards, a very, very measly mark of 500 yards. They still couldn't do it, despite Davante Adams missing time. They also lost Geronimo Allison and Jimmy Graham, who inexplicably accounted for 115 targets last year. Their one major addition in free agency to the wide receiver room, Devin Funchess, he ends up opting out anyways. This team is set up to funnel their entire offense through two players, the first of which is Davante Adams, and the second of which falls to us here at the 202, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, it's reasonable to expect that he sees a drop in touchdowns after scoring an absurd 19 last year, but we can still safely project that he will be a more efficient running back than most other running backs in the league. He's finished top 15 in yards per carry and top 10 in yards per touch in each of the past two seasons. Jones has shown an uncanny ability to leverage his speed and agility like few backs in the league, and that makes him a great option to get here at the 202. At the 311, we take Calvin Ridley. At 30 years old, Julio Jones is showing some small cracks in his game. Getting older, every year is another year on his odometer. He went for just 8.9 yards per target last year. That was a career low, and he averaged, let's call it just 92.9 yards, but that was his second worst mark over the past 7 years. I'm not saying Julio Jones is done. He's far from done. But the older he gets, the more Calvin Ridley takes over in the league's most pass-happy offense. He's a great pick at the 311. At the 402, Awesemo's rankings are preaching you just want to get receivers who are getting a lot of targets from awesome quarterbacks. Tyler Lockett is exactly that. And he was incredibly fantasy productive when he was healthy last year. It's kind of hard to see that in his plain box scores, though. Derek Brown on Twitter, we have Tyler Lockett was hospitalized after week 10. Before that, weeks 1 through 9 was the wide receiver 5 in fantasy. He wasn't declared fully healthy again until week 15. From weeks 11 through 14, in that stretch where he wasn't healthy, he was the wide receiver 99. Then 15 to 17, back to the wide receiver 20. So if you have to give him some credit for the fact that he was playing hurt, but when he was not hurt, he was an unstoppable force. Weeks 1 through 9, wide receiver 5. That needs to be repeated. Tyler Lockett catching those valuable Russell Wilson targets is one of the best options to get in the fourth round. At the 511, T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton undoubtedly struggled with injuries in 2019, but the quarterback play he saw did him no favors either. Jacoby Brissett finished 28th in yards per attempt at 6.6, while Phillip Rivers was a pretty respectable 13th at 7.8 while in LA. With Rivers now in Indy, Hilton will get an infusion of both health and accuracy from his quarterbacks, turning him into one of the premier fantasy assets to get in the 5th and 6th round. At the 602, Michael Gallup is the pick here. An alternative, it was difficult to choose which Dallas asset this team wanted, Michael Gallup or Dak Prescott, but we ultimately go Michael Gallup. I'd say the upside pick here because we just want to beat our opponents in those skill positions in the running back and wide receiver. So when you remove week 2, when Michael Gallup tore his meniscus and recorded a season-low snap share, Michael Gallup averaged 4.6 catches for 79.9 yards per game. Those marks are both near or better than fellow Cowboys wideout Amari Cooper last year. Dallas has no lead receiver or two lead receivers. There's no way you don't include Michael Gallup as a top option in Dallas and a top option for Dak Prescott. The Tyler Lockett rule says we want to get targets from efficient quarterbacks, and we do that again with Michael Gallup. At the 7-11, Will Fuller. Will Fuller might be the MVP of this series, making it on the most teams, and it makes a lot of sense. Will Fuller has topped 100 yards in over a quarter of his games over the past 2 years. When he's healthy, we know he is capable of sheer dominance. Now with DeAndre Hopkins in Arizona, his full potential has the chance to be unleashed on a weekly basis, so an easy pick at the end of the 7th round. At the 802, we're looking for some more stability at our running back room, so we get James White. An alternative could have been the opposite approach going upside, but we just want to get that weekly floor with James White, so we don't go with J.K. Dobbins. Cam Newton gets this reputation as a no checkdowns gunslinging quarterback, but that seems unlikely to be true in New England. The 2018 season was one of Newton's best, his last healthy season, and he posted a 67.9 completion rate while dumping the ball off to Christian McCaffrey 124 times. If that is the version of Newton that Bill Belichick decides to unleash, James White will absolutely rack up receptions in a seamless transition from Brady to Newton, and he makes a lot of sense as a floor play in the 8th round. At the 9th round, we end up going Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, simply a game theory play. If you invest your 1st and 2nd round pick in one offense, you are basically betting your entire fantasy season on that offense. If Aaron Rodgers ends up busting, Davante Adams and Aaron Jones are going with him. There is no way they succeed without at least a moderate fantasy season from Aaron Rodgers. So really, this is like making a parlay where you correlate the final pick of your parlay with the first two. There's no reason not to go with Aaron Rodgers here in the 9th round. At the 10:02, Tevin Coleman. We saw from weeks 1 to 12, Tevin Coleman carried the ball 115 times, and he posted 448 yards, and he added 164 through the air. That works out to over 1,000 yards on a full season. Kyle Shanahan's plan was clearly for Coleman to have a significant role in the backfield in San Francisco, but injuries changed those plans. We could easily see the plans come back in 2020 and him unseat Raheem Mostert. In the 10th round, that makes it an easy pick. Guys, thanks for tuning in to another Awesemo Fantasy Football video. Make sure you hit that like button and comment with picks you would have changed or picks you would have liked to see this team make. And as always, don't forget to head on over to awesemo.com/fantasyfootball to sign up for our draft kit. It includes a bunch of awesome stuff that you want to get your hands on, like our rankings, projections, breakouts, busts, and sleepers, and most importantly, our draft wingman, which helps you build optimal season-long and best ball lineups. All of this, you get all of this for just $29.95. I urge you to go on and check that out. We will catch you in the next Awesemo Fantasy Football video.